Hey, critics, and welcome back to the Critic Chronicles YouTube channel where you get commentary, reviews, and tabloid news. We are live on this Wednesday, July the 1st, 2026. Hey, critics, it's time to chronicle. The Tiny Desk concert series honored Black Music Month last month, and all of the artists featured for the month, they've basically performed, and they've done a great job. The latest being, of course, Bow Wow. I think his was released on the same night as the BET Awards that aired. As a reminder, though, some of the past performances last month did include Floetry, Eve, Joe, 8 Ball and MJG, Ira Star, who also performed at the opening of the Obama Center there in Chicago. The Paradox, you remember that opened, of course, on Juneteenth. The Paradox, as well as Shabuzi. So every artist, though, that I did mention, they have at least one resource on Hoopla, which is a free streaming platform made possible through our local library. And as a reminder, y'all, the BET Awards, yes, they were live this past Sunday, June the 28th. I did a recap of the live show and shared it on the channel, so be sure to check that out when you get the chance. And I don't listen, this is a side note. I probably don't need to be going off, but listen, I got to go off a little bit. Deion Sanders, and he has that channel over there that his son runs. I believe it's called Well Off Media, or maybe it's actually Deion Sanders Jr. channel. So forgive me if I misspoke about whose channel it is and all of the things. They got over 500,000 subscribers over there. I think they have like 600 and something thousand or so. But with that being said, y'all, they do a good job of like tracking their life and like doing like a day in the life. They don't necessarily call it a day in the life of, but just kind of blogging the day-to-day life of what happens with Deion Sanders and his family behind the scenes, and even with his girlfriends. Anyway, with that being said, let me just get to the point because otherwise I'm gonna continue to stay off topic. Well, in the video that I saw, Coach Prime and Karrueche were basically being asked questions about a recent, I guess, doctor's experience or like a visit or something like that. But they both kept tiptoeing around the topic of reversing, I guess, Deion Sanders' vasectomy, because reportedly he has a vasectomy, which you know what that is. That's like it stopped the sperm from sperming. You know what I'm saying? So they can't stop it, girl. Stop. They can't swim. You know what? It's like the male birth control. That's what I should have said. It's male birth control. Oh my gosh, I can already tell where I'm going with this. But I don't know. Okay. I ain't never had it. All right. Just forgive me. All right. But let me find out that Coach Prime is over there trying to start over him and Karrueche. Are y'all planning to have a whole family? I don't know. It's probably me. I'm looking too much into it. Y'all watch the video. Okay. I gotta find the video now so that I can make sure that I link it in the show notes. Because if y'all know something I don't, I expect y'all to tell me. I expect you to tell me. And while we're on sports, shout out to LeBron James. They say that his era at, I guess, the LA Lakers has actually ended. So congratulations. Of course, everybody's wanting to know probably what the next move of LeBron James is going to be or what's next for LeBron. I'm sure, if I'm being honest, LeBron gives me he's had time to just kind of lay it all out for the rest of his life, like the entire future that he has. Shout out to his son though, because I believe it was also reported that his son is still going to be with the Lakers and he's already secured his contract. So yeah, congratulations. And all of the things we'll be watching what the next move is going to be. Speaking of next movie, y'all know I like to watch the Jenna and Sheinelle show, and these are some highlights this week. Including author Mara Brocker Kill. She stopped by the show. Jodie Turner Smith, as well as Michelle Buteau. And I'm just gonna make a little side note here, real quick. Real quick. Jenna and Sheinelle had like a capsule wardrobe, and I guess I can't exactly describe what they said it was, but it gives me the impression that they had a series of clothes to wear and they can mix and match the clothes in any kind of way, but it was like a specific, wardrobe that they wore for like the week. Now they did that last week, and I have to say to the ladies, I love that. I loved the wardrobe capsule, whatever that was that y'all did. I like it. Nod to that. Clock the T, as the girl as the girls say nowadays. Yeah, so y'all keep that up, keep that going, okay? Y'all, one of the highlights though from the show was when they played the trailer from a different world. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, that's how I felt before I watched the trailer. Now that I watched the trailer, I say it like I watched that trailer from a different world. Yeah, that's basically the way I truly felt. Well, you know, The Different World is actually set to premiere on September the 24th. It's going to be the new version. Shout out to actress Malia Jo Moon. She's going to be playing the daughter of Dwayne as well as Whitley. Her character's name is actually going to be Deborah Wayne. Okay, Deborah. Okay, Deborah, Debbie. Okay. I wonder why. Was that in honor of Debbie Allen? Deborah. I don't I don't know. But let's keep it moving, okay? The trailer gave us absolutely nothing though, because I'm still looking forward to the show. Okay, gave us nothing. Shout out to Hillman College. You know, Hillman, side note, it's gonna be a lot of side notes. I really wanted to record the show tonight, y'all. I don't know what was in me, but I was like, girl, get up. You need to record a show, honey. It is that time, okay? But yeah, like watching like, the Cosby Show, watching like A Different World, especially seeing like those examples like on TV as a young child growing up in a small town, coupled I think with like other educational programs at the time like Sesame Street, your Reading Rainbows, your Magic School Bus, Magic School Bus. Speaking of Magic School Bus, there's a new person that's supposed to be playing the role of Miss Miss Frizzle, I believe is the name. The teacher from It's on the Magic School Bus. That one. I wanted Tracy Ellis Ross to get the role. I did. I really did. But I think that Elizabeth Banks is going to do a pretty good job. I haven't watched enough movies in the last few years to really know what she plays in. But when I looked it up, you might know her from Hunger Games. And now we're going to know her as Miss Frizzle. Yeah, shout out to you. And congratulations, Elizabeth. Break a leg, girl. Break a leg. Shout out to, I think it was Meg Thee Stallion when she was at one of the award shows. She was on Broadway. All of the things. I'm also want another side note because I'm just in my side note stage today. Okay. I'm so proud of the impact that Black America is actually making on Broadway. To see all of the different players who've been a part of it, whether either it was producing like Candy Burris, same thing with the Obamas. They've actually produced a Broadway show as well. To those who have been on Broadway, even like Vanessa Williams, I think she's overseas actually doing The Devil Wears Prada on Broadway, on in the theater, darling. You know what I'm saying? Like the real break a leg. But I said all the break a leg stuff because Meg Thee Stallion didn't realize that in theater, what break a leg meant, and she made that joke. I believe it was at the Tony Awards this year. So yeah. Anyway, and while we're on the topic of like educational programming and Reading Rainbow, former host, the LeVar Burton, he is set to release his book titled Take My Word for It. It's set to release this fall. Now, the book will pull back the curtain, according to reports, not just on the roles that LeVar has played, from Roots to Star Trek to Reading Rainbow. He's Star Trek. Them glasses on Star Trek. What kind of glasses are them? I like them kind of glasses as well. I love sunglasses, y'all. Okay, that's just my thing. Anyway, but also on the life that he actually lived, the fears, the fight, the survival, and the joy. Now, I've set my Libby app to notify me when the book is released on November the 10th. Libby, of course, is a free app made possible through our local library. Get your library card to access thousands of resources today. And this is another resource that I actually found via Libby as well. Mara Brock Akil, she stopped by the Jenna and Sheinelle show to talk about her brand new book, The Revelation of Dion Daphne, just released on June the 30th. Now, this is what the novel is about. It's at once a deeply moving and provocatively gripping novel that shows when you dig deep enough into the shadows of your life, light can be revealed. It's a novel of broken lovers, a fractured family, and distant friendships all making their way back to one another. Okay, then, Mara, I'm looking forward to it, my darling. Now, I have mine, of course. Right now, it's on hold, so I don't have access to it as of right now through my local library, but I do have my notifications on in Libby, so it can tell me when it is available. I can actually check it out. So, yeah. And speaking of all of the things, okay, Jodie Turner-Smith also stopped by the show, fresh from the BET Awards this past weekend. I do wish that they would have had some kind of a segment or somebody who stopped by that may have either was on the red carpet. You know what I'm saying? Like during the scoop. I just kind of wish it was a little bit more of that. And part of it, I'm sure y'all know why, because y'all have somebody there who is one of the hosts, and she, of course, identifies as a Black woman. Not only that, but she is a member of a historically Black sorority as well. So yeah, I just, want to throw it out there just in case producers be listening. I know y'all probably listen to the opinion show, so I'm not sure if you would actually listen to this one, but I will repeat myself, okay, and let y'all know ain't nothing wrong with adding a little more soul in there. And if you don't do it for the BT Awards, at least do it for Juneteenth, okay? If not, give Sheinelle the day off, okay? She should not be working on Juneteenth. Y'all shouldn't either. Really, ain't supposed to be a holiday. All right, maybe y'all didn't work on Juneteenth, and I'm just telling y'all worked, but y'all know the truth. Anyway, DL Hughley and Don Lemon, they are teaming up for a tour. It's called DL plus DL, Anything Goes. The first stop is Fort Lauderdale, September 11th, and the final stop is in Houston on November the 21st. Now back to Jodie Turner-Smith. She stopped by the show fresh off the BET Awards. She's promoting her brand new show. It's actually season 2 actually of her show. It's called The Agency. She also talked a little bit about motherhood. She talked about co-parenting. Remember, she used to be with ex Joshua Jackson from Dawson's Creek. You know, Pacey, baby. I don't want to wait for our lives to be over. I know right now. Will it be? I used to love that show, and I used to love what other non-inclusive shows I'd be liking. Felicity. I actually like that show a little bit too. I couldn't believe it. And you know what I couldn't get into? Like, people was really into like the Sex and the City stuff, but I was too young when it came out to actually be into it. So I didn't get into that probably until it was a while. I didn't watch like the full seasons of Sex and the City until probably like the second movie came out, and that might be a stretch. Okay. But anyway, going back to what I'm supposed to be talking about, not Dawson's Creek, honey. We talking about Jodie Turner-Smith, okay? That's when she was there. Okay, looking good too, looking gorgeous. And yes, promoting, but also just kind of talking a little bit about the importance of co-parenting, what the approach is. But she said something that I felt was really powerful. She said the things that she withholds will be withheld from her, which is why she don't withhold. She makes sure that, even if something maybe isn't fair, whatever, she tries not to think about it like that. She thinks about what she can do in order to make more of a positive either spin on it or make it beneficial. What can she learn from this situation? Yeah. Did y'all know she was in the Taylor Swift video? I didn't realize that. One of her Taylor Swift videos, I didn't realize that she was the lead workout lady, and she said she even got some tips from somebody. She got some tips from the legendary somebody. That's what she got some tips from them. Okay, Jodie. My favorite part though is when she started talking about these toe shoes. I don't know if y'all have ever had an opportunity to see these toe shoes, but like there's these shoes that you wear and you basically put your foot in them, and each one of your toes have its own home in the shoe, And then what I like about them the most is it feels like you're walking on the ground. Like it feels like you're walking on the ground, but not like you can walk on concrete, you can walk on the grass with sticker bugs, like you can walk on the ground. I love the toe shoes. So she talked about how she basically wears toe shoes, and she does it primarily so that she can it keeps your balance. It's also a little bit healthier than the heels that you actually wear. You got to listen. I'm going to specifically link Jodie's interview with them so y'all can hear all of the things that she said, just in case I'm misquoting. All right. Okay. Jodie, my Jodie. Hey, girl. And also, you was looking good at the BET Awards when you was doing all of the filming and all the things for Tana Taylor. All right, y'all. I think that's about all for that area. I do have a little bit more, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna finish this off. All right. Let's go black on the cover of People Magazine's July the 9th issue. Forever, y'all. First Lady Michelle Obama and former President Barack Obama are on the cover with the caption, "Our Love, Legacy, and Life Now." They gave an exclusive interview to People, which I will also link in the show notes. So y'all be sure to check that out. And before I get too deep into what the Obamas had to say in the magazine, congratulations to Debbie Allen, who was captured on page 9 addressing a crowd after being presented with the Juneteenth Legacy Award at the Broadway Celebrates Juneteenth event in NYC's Times Square on Juneteenth. Congratulations, Miss Allen. And if you're still on a high from the Knicks game, this issue does a good job of being inclusive of the champions, including Miles McBride and his girlfriend, as well as Jaylen Brown with his wife, Allie, and daughter Jordan, excuse me. The Knicks, y'all, they hadn't won a championship. They saying 53 years. Congrats to the fans. Okay. I know them fans was happy, excited. Somebody got fired for taking a trash can. Some lady was fighting a lady and drug her, embarrassed that woman. I don't know why she touched that lady. I don't know why she went over there messing with them people, baby, but that woman embarrassed her and they caught it on camera. Oh my God. Anyway, BET did pay tribute. I should have stopped. I should have stopped an entire segment ago, but here we go. BET did pay tribute to Clive Davis during a special tribute at the awards show on this past Sunday, and so did People Magazine, starting on page 18. So if you want to read more about Clive Davis, you can do that. I am going to say that in it, it does highlight the fact that he did launch the careers of so many big stars, including Santana. So just like the ocean, that's the one, under the moon, and it's the same as the emotion that I get from you. Ooh, you got the kind of love, and that could be so smooth. Yeah, give me your heart, make it real, or else forget about it. I'm done. I'm done. Okay, let me get it together so I can really be done. For real. Janis Joplin, Pink Floyd, Whitney Houston, Dionne Warwick, Grateful Dead, of course, and more. Clive passed away peacefully from age-related illness. He was 94. Now, there was a time where they had put him in the hospital. I think it was like about 3 weeks ago or so, and then they did end up bringing him home so that he could rest. But it did sound like he passed away peacefully at his home. The War and Treaty, which is a music group, I misspoke when I talked about the BET Awards. I did say the War and Treaty, but I don't think I recognized that it wasn't just the band. It was all of them as a collective. It was the duo with the Michael and Tanya Trotter. But basically, they performed at the BET Awards and they did that amazing tribute, y'all. And Tanya Trotter tore up the house with just that rendition, the recap, girl, like had us reminiscing, had us in all of the feels, as some would say, with the just way that she took her time to not only honor Lauren, but also, I think, pay tribute, yes, to the moment, and a moment in history that we will always remember, because Sister Act 2 is one of our favorite movies, and baby, it goes in the classic movies you got to see. It's one of those classic American movies, baby, you just gotta see. Yeah. Anyway, a little bit off of that, but with that being said, I did want to say that the duo couple has a string of resources on Hoopla, including their albums Live with the War and Treaty, Plus One, Lover's Game, and Blank Page. All albums are available via Hoopla, a free streaming platform made possible through our local library. The story of the Obamas begins on page 28, where the couple talk about their lasting love, their White House years, and happy life now, honey. They looking like they happy. Mm-hmm. Of course, they've been married for 34 years. That's a long. That's a baby. That's a long time. They reflected on their first date. Have y'all seen the movie? About their first date? That's a cute movie. They talked about saying "I do," being the 44th president, and leaving the White House. Their main focus, though, now, y'all, is that Obama Center that's there in Chicago that opened up on Juneteenth. Just as a reminder, it's a vibrant 19.3 acre campus located in Chicago's historic Jackson Park, which was designed with the people in mind. Of course, they want us to know, and that was something that President Obama actually really stressed on, is that this is not just a center for them. It's really a center for us, and it's really them letting us know that this is where we go to be inspired, empowered, and connected to people, and to also change the world. Now, the campus features a diverse array of public spaces, which includes the Obama Presidential Center Museum, the Forum, the Home Court, which is a NBA regulated science court. And my favorite, based on what I heard, is the Obama Presidential Center Chicago Public Library branch. They say it's a library that you can lose yourself in. There is an interactive media area, a reading room. I guess some of your favorite books could be in there. I actually saw some influencers who kind of got an early look of the Obama Center. And with that being said, their books were actually in the presidential reading room. And you can also relax in one of the quiet spaces for work or for reading. But they're hoping that you come there and the public actually takes advantage of it for events, gatherings, fundraisers, and for it to serve as a direct source for the city. For the city. Yay. I don't know why I'm all doing all this singing tonight. As Michelle and Barack, though, did in the interview, they did reflect on the Tupac lyrics. Although it seems heaven sent, we ain't ready to see a black president. Barack said this. He said, obviously, there's a symbolism to the day I got elected. I had always said to Michelle and friends that I hoped if I did get elected, that would change how kids thought about themselves. Yeah, of course you can have a black president. Why not? Mrs. Obama said that the symbolism of his presidency wasn't just about race. It was also about the way you show up as a leader, a man, a father, and a husband. She went on to close saying what Barack offered this country was a mature president, a highly intelligent president, a selfless president, and I think those characteristics are as important as race. He made his country proud in a unique way. For the full story, check out the link in the show notes to their exclusive interview and check out the digital version of People Magazine starting on page 28. And last but not least, Lori Harvey is on page 57. She's looking glamorous as always. She's wearing what people are calling like the heeled like flip flop or so. It kind of looks like a flip flop, but it got a little pump. You got a little, but it ain't the kitten heel, but it's like a little bit higher than the kitten heel because the kitten heel be playing. Like, don't be mad at me, y'all, but that kitten heel is, I am not a fan. I am not, tell me I don't know fashion, but I am not a fan of that kitten heel. Actually, I won't use that strong of a word, but baby, they irritate me. Okay. But yeah, I will say that the high heel flip flop that I saw was also what Jenna wore on the Jenna and Sheinelle show during that week that they were doing the capsule for their wardrobes. And I think she wore it with that black dress. So she had like this black dress. It was the same day that Sheinelle wore her, like, it was like this red dress with like these long open sleeves that just gave sedity but comfortable in a beautiful way. Like, I don't know if all they go together, but I'm putting it all together because that's what it is. Okay. And also shout out to Lori Harvey because reportedly, and based off some photos that I saw on her own Instagram, she's been tapped by the spirits brand Gran Cormino Tequila as their new chief creative advisor alongside Kevin Hart, says Afro Tech. So yeah, congratulations on that, Lori. Yeah, all of the things, girl. You looking good. As a reminder, though, y'all, here at the Critic Chronicles, our goal is to provide quality but juicy content from websites, digital magazines, and tabloids, most of which are sourced from our public libraries. Research from the National Library of Medicine show that there are an estimated 17,000 public libraries nationwide, totaling 4 million visits each day. Public libraries are civic organizations that are committed to providing invaluable resources beyond books that are free and open to the public. Get your library card to access thousands of resources today. For access to past episodes, be sure, not episodes, for access to past episodes, be sure to browse the channel. Also, be sure to subscribe to our backup channel, Hey Critics, also linked in the show notes. Thanks again for tuning in to the Critic Chronicles YouTube channel where you get commentary, reviews, and tabloid news. See, everybody who thought, oh, that was a pre-recorded thing that you do real fast at the end. I told y'all I'll be doing it live every single time. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload.